Joe's around. So,
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Um, I guess one of the main motivators for me was growing up with a lot of family members, coaches, my friends' parents, fathers that fought in that terrible war. And it wasn't that long ago. And the 333rd was such an outstanding outfit. The more research I did, shooting over 100,000 shells, coming across from Europe, one of the ships in their convoy got hit. So before these, heck, they were mostly kids. Before they arrived on Europe, they had to witness that. And for those of you who don't know, when a convoy is going across and a ship gets hit, orders are for everybody to keep on going. So for all I know, they had to sail right past those guys with some guys in the water. So welcome to the war. And then they landed on the beach, and there was a Army Piper Cub plane flying over, performing observation. And they got orders to get their guns set up ASAP. And they rushed their guns off the ships, set them up, and they fired a round that traveled 3 miles and knocked a German observer out of a church steeple. So you heard tonight they hit a Tiger tank from 9 miles away, and that's really something. But that was one of their first shots. The other thing that happened on their first day, their forward observer went forward, and he never came back. He was killed. So for those of you, and I encourage you people, to research and learn about artillery. I sent away and got the original 155 field manual from World War II. And it's like a Bible. And it's not just loading a shell and firing it. There's really a lot of skill and a lot of math and trigonometry and balancing the gun and different types of ammunition and counter battery fire. These guys really had to know a lot, and they really performed very, very admirably. So that's what really drove me just to really pay homage to them. That it was not only tragic that the 11 men were killed that way and forgotten about, but they really did their jobs and all that was asked for them. And when you're in combat, and I'm sure a lot of veterans here or anywhere else you might meet them will tell you many times, artillery saves the day. It really does. And I remember one German officer was interviewed after the Battle of Bastogne. You saw the 969, which the 333rd was absorbed into, was issued the PUC, which is the highest award a unit can get. They questioned the German officer and said, "What prevented you from taking Bastogne?" And he said the biggest problem they had was every time they went to mount an armored attack, those 155 guns would rain down on them and demoralize his men. So the other thing I try to do for the younger people today, and I think this is a film for maybe 7th graders right on up, as you watch the film again, you'll see a lot of different layers in there. We wanted to show the MG-42, the 88, the railroad gun. That railroad gun was used during the Battle of the Bulge. Those shells landed in St. Vith and in Schomberg. The airplane. All the horrific weaponry. And just show kids what a wonderful thing our soldiers did not that long ago. and to remember them and to say thank you. And I'm just glad we made the film. These guys are very, very talented. I was making phone calls and sending out emails, and I was all over the place. And they just took all this and pooled their talents and went out. Everybody just became absorbed by the project and went out on their own and researched, spent hours away from their families, weekends away from their families, and they just engulfed it. And everything that I wanted to see, they did it, and it's amazing. So thank you very much for that, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Nice to see you here, George. Yeah, it's getting late for George, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it.
I just want to say that, echo Joe's comments. I told my wife this, that the driving force or the rallying cry for us was to make a film that was worthy of the 11 men. That was always the uppermost in our minds, our thoughts, and everyone, put their heart and souls into this film because they knew it was an important story. They knew not only had it not been told, but it was a truly tragic wrong that had been done to these soldiers, and we wanted to give it our absolute best. And this crew here is the A-team. I mean, really, it's just amazing. So I'm going to open it up to questions here from the audience, if you have any, to any of us. Fire away.